Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
SM Entertainment and its history on xenophobia. You're not Korean, you don't matter.
Have you ever wondered how difficult it is to be a non-Korean idol in the K-pop industry? And I'm not talking about the language, culture, or distance from family. I'm talking about something deeper and darker. I'm talking about the unequal treatment, xenophobia, and silent abuse that some idols suffer simply for not being Korean or not being 100% Korean. And I'm not talking about Western artists, but Asians from Japan, Thailand, or China, who have very similar features to them and who are only used to enter the markets of the countries where they were born. And if there is a company where this
I
mistreatment is well known
wonder
and has been repeated over and over again for
do you think this because of like maybe the history, like before they were necessarily partners, and now
I don't know. I can't answer why. I don't have a clue. Because to me, it's like if you're trying to enter those markets, you would treat those idols well because you don't want them to leave.
yeah,
So
unless you don't want them there at all.
it's just very counterintuitive why you would do that. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea.
so many years. That is it. A company that has created some of the biggest stars in KP, but has also been singled out for crushing dreams, not promoting its foreign idols, mentally exhausting its artists, treating them as if they were worth less than Koreans, and pushing them to leave the company and the country. Unfortunately, these are facts that have already been documented and sometimes recounted by idols themselves, former trainees, and fans who have followed Zen's every move. One example of this is Super Junior's Hangeng. Hangeng was the first Chinese idol and in fact the first non-Korean to debut under Sen as part of Super Junior in 2005. His story marked a before and after in the K-pop industry in general. During his early years, he did not even have a visa to perform in Korea and the company forced him to wear a mask on stage to avoid legal problems and
Oh, we
deportation.
heard this,
Since
I
at that
remember.
time there was a law that prohibited foreign singers from appearing more than 3 times on television channels. After having acted in several programs, Asen
That's
decided
kind
to
of
cover his
crazy
face
though.
in most of his appearances
It's
to avoid
like
problems.
foreign singer, you can only appear 3 times. That's so
That's so
ridiculous.
weird.
That's so
Yeah.
weird. That's just so fucking weird.
According to Asen, he was unaware that this law existed. At that time, many fans thought he was a backup dancer. The other members of Super Junior had to lip sync their parts because his face was covered by a mask. Fortunately, Korean entertainment laws had to change so that Hangik could act freely. Thanks to this, we can see many foreign idols acting on TV shows without any problems. He didn't seem interested in protecting him. The working conditions, low pay, isolation, and the difference in treatment between him and his Korean peers were so severe that he ended up suing Sen in 2009 to terminate his contract. On top of that, his contract was for 13 years. He also shared that another reason he made the decision to leave the group and return to China was because Sen told him that he couldn't act while he was in Super Junior. It was one of the things he wanted to do the most. Now let's move on to Giselle from Aespa, who is half Korean and half Japanese, and has been the target of hate comments for questions of authenticity as an idol. Rather than helping her shine, fans argue that Sen's styling team has consistently ignored her, dressing her in less flattering outfits and often giving her simpler hairstyles than her fellow members, making her look more like a backup dancer than an idol. A fan commented, "The problem isn't just that she's not being promoted, it seems like she's being sabotaged." Even simple things like dressing her the same as everyone else and showing her on the big screen for a few seconds seem like too much work for many. They've noticed how, despite being in a successful group, she's treated like an outsider by often being left out of promotional materials, such as
I don't know. I don't see that. I don't think that that's a police to Giselle. She got whenever she did when they were in the States, she was obviously the translator. She was the lead. She was always up front, like in the group. She was the representative of the group.
But that maybe that's why she's tolerated,
And what do you mean tolerated?
like because she can provide all these functions.
Right, but
But
she wasn't.
if she wasn't providing these functions, would you feel the same way?
But I'm saying she was up front. So whether she
Mm.
was providing functions or whatever, I just don't feel she's mistreated. I never got that vibe that Giselle is mistreated.
Mm.
Like she had her own solo moment on Vogue
Mm-hmm.
too. Uh, I don't know.
But
I
this is like
don't.
all in the West. When I'm thinking like the mistreatment, I'm thinking like them in South Korea. Like when we see activities for them in South
I don't
Korea.
know. It's just to me whatever the fans say. I don't take it seriously because they all stands. They only by their logic is their idol is always mistreated and others are treated with more preferential treatment.
We see that with Lisa, that's for sure. Like they don't like her because she's Thai.
I feel like public don't like her, but not the YG label. I don't feel like the YG
Oh,
label
we're
have.
talking about on a company
Yeah,
level.
we're talking on company level.
Mm.
Like if the
Oh,
public.
then how am I supposed to know? I'm not there.
No, right, but I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like the company is not showing Giselle. Like they're hiding Giselle, she's not getting parts, or I don't feel that. Like when we reacted to their solo, Giselle had her solo, everybody had their solo songs.
Yeah.
I don't get that for Giselle.
As in the campaign with Japan.
Now, do the people prefer, like Korean people prefer Korean idols over international? For sure. But by that logic, I prefer English speaking idols over, Korean idols too. Like I like,
So you're
I
saying it's not necessarily a bad thing?
yeah,
Or,
it's just a
or
preference.
like it's not intent is not hate. Like there's not
Yeah,
any
well,
malice to it.
for those Koreans, I don't know. For me, it's not hate. For me, it's just like I lean more into, I like more idols that speak English than, because how can I like you when I don't understand you? Like the captions. I don't care for the caption. I don't like the captions. Like I like when people talk English. So I always, for me, I don't want to say it's like my biases or whatever, but just like I just prefer the idols that speak English. It's easier.
It's easier to get to know
Yeah,
them.
it's easier to get to know them. It's easier for me to remember them, remember their names. It's just easier. Like from Les Seraphim is Hyunjin. From Stray Kids, Felix Bangchan. Uh, well, Nmix, Lily. Like all the English speakers. And Aespa, Giselle, too. Like it's just, but that's my, I guess if you want to call it bias, we can call it bias, whatever you want to call it. But so I feel like the fact that Koreans have their biases being Koreans, I mean, that's what it is. It's the same way the Japanese, for example, let's say Seraphim, Sakura is the biggest member in Japan because she's Japanese. It's like also it's like they know what they're doing because they're targeting, like they get a Chinese member to target China. So of course in China there's gonna be the Chinese member is gonna be the bias of everybody.
So if they get someone from that market, they want them to be liked. So why would they keep them forward?
Right. So like I don't.
Or have them turn against you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this narrative is only clear when it was the situation where the member had to wear a mask on his face. That was like
That's something, that's something different. But I'm just more so talking about Giselle. I'm just saying, like, because we do react to Aespa quite a bit. I don't feel like Giselle is getting mistreated.
Cosmetics brand Cloud Clio, where she was omitted from both social media posts and the official website, unlike her fellow members. While this could have been considered an accidental mistake if it were an isolated incident, it's not just this one time. In the individual talent segment of the variety show Wicked Idol, Giselle's segment was cut. Her singing version was also cut from an episode of No Bros, despite being used as a promotional clip in a trailer for the episode. Another offensive incident.
We don't know why it was cut. Could have been something controversial and they cut it, something inappropriate. Who the fuck knows? Like we just saw what happened with Cat's Eye. They cut out Manon part, and so like what were we going to say? Oh, they're mistreating Manon because they cut her part? Come on.
And occurred when the fashion brand Spatianaba in Korea misspelled Giselle's name in all of their promotional materials. Even something as simple as uploading her Spotify playlist upload to the group's profile was something she had to request individually, while her fellow members' playlists were released immediately. And unfortunately, there have been several occasions where media outlets have blurred Giselle's face because they allegedly didn't recognize her. At the 2020 SPS Gala Daijun, the network also
So if you want to say the media is mistreating her, that's a different story. But I thought we were talking that SM is mistreating her.
Yeah, I
thought that's the idea of the article. Yeah, because if the fact that the media, the public is mistreating the non-Korean idols, that is a thing. That's a thing.
I guess it's part of the industry. So the industry is including the label, the media, and anybody that's like have like the power to affect their career. That's not.
Okay, but the point is we're focusing on SM label. We're saying that SM label does that, whereas other labels don't do that. But other labels, they probably.
But these labels, they have connections. They do kind of work the media too.
Right, but if the media mistreats the internationals, they mistreat them unilaterally, no matter your label. So, like, if you're making a claim about SM mistreating those idols, then it has to be the label actually mistreating them, not the media. Because the media mistreating them, I'm not debating that. The media does, like, even with Lisa, we see, like, Lisa doesn't really get love in Thailand, not in Thailand, Korea. But she gets love she gets most love everywhere else, basically. So, like, that's the thing. That is the thing.
Decided to upload individual photos of all the members to their Instagram account, except for Giselle. The omissions continued even at the 2021 Dream concert. Some media outlets chose to only publish photos of Karina, Winter, and Ningning. Additionally, at the end of a recent performance, she was unfortunately the only one omitted from the final shots where they cut to each member, something that caused boos from the audience.
Build a website you
I
love
can see that.
with Wix.
But they explained that this
For your
is like
words?
not a chance for every member to be shown there. But if it's a small group, and you did 3, you might as well do the 4th one.
One fan commented, "Guys, if you add in all the really interesting events like this that keep happening to Giselle and pretty much all of Sen's other foreign idols, it's not a coincidence at all." Quote, added to this, she was the only one placed in the back in the promotional photo for the Pokemon announcement. Even Giselle's dialogue distribution and screen time
Oh, come on, guys. They're all standing in different distances from. Obviously, it's like, I don't know. So if somebody else got put in the back there, they would be like, oh, they're mistreating this idol now. So like, whoever was put there is gonna be that idol is mistreated. It's like, if that's the idea behind the photo, like if that's how they wanted to do it, that somebody has to be in the back, well, somebody has to take the cut. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's just life. Come on, not everything is mistreatment.
back in the promotional photo.
Now, to me, the biggest mistreatment is very simple. If she gets paid less than others, that is mistreatment, and that's the only mistreatments I care about.
Oh, for you, yes.
If she gets paid the same as others, then who cares? But if she's getting paid less, that is mistreatment. That is huge mistreatment. Just because she's not just her, but like if international idols, they get paid less than Korean idols, that is a huge problem. That is discrimination. That is mistreatment. The fact that they get put in the back of the photo, in the back of the lineup, and that's not fucking
I
mistreatment.
wonder if they're like taxed differently.
But that wouldn't be mistreatment. That's just, government things. Like, to me, it's like, if their contracts are less than the Korean contracts, that is a huge mistreatment. That's the only one. If they get paid the same money, who cares?
For the Pokemon announcement. Even Giselle's dialogue distribution and screen time continue to be the lowest of the group, adding to the frustration of fans. Unfortunately, Giselle is not the only SPA member who has faced discrimination. Her fellow member Ningning, who is from China, has also been in similar situations with reduced schedules, fewer promotions, and exclusions from events. During the Zhangzi University Festival, fans noticed that Ningning was deliberately omitted from the promotional posters. Despite the inclusion of the others' photos, when fans complained, the company did nothing about it.
So Giselle was included. So Giselle wasn't being mistreated then. Now Ningning is mistreated. It's come on. It is different. But my point,
but I'm saying different countries. Like, we don't like maybe this Japan, but China. We don't like China.
But it's just like, to me, it's like you can literally find that case, make that case for every idol, and that's my point is that the gays, they make the case for their idol, but you can make that case for every idol. Maybe
but it could be the realm of possibilities, because I think, like, I don't know, when it comes to like Polish and a Russian, I don't know who would American gravitate more trustworthy or deeming less hate, because I think right now
I think they don't distinguish. They can't understand the difference.
I think for like, since Vladimir Putin right now is really bad, they would say, oh, the Russians.
But they wouldn't distinguish the Pole from a Russian.
But if you were to know between the two.
Probably Russians, yeah.
About it, which many consider to be a constant for both idols, namely Ningning and Giselle. Fans also accused Essen of sabotaging Ningning's deal with Aespa as Versashi's global ambassador during Milan Fashion Week in early 2025. Meanwhile, fellow member Karina attended the event in Prada's Ningning did not appear.
Wrong, it's always, you hear the usual way they say your name wrong, but then when something new just gets you out of left field, I gotta add that to the roster of how my name is said incorrectly. That is crazy.
Yeah, but talking about Aespa, I don't know if this whole video is gonna be Aespa, because we're focusing a lot about Aespa. Aespa is very simple. Karina is gonna get the most push out of all of them, and if you want,
why?
Because she's the star of the group, at least visually. She's the visual. She's the biggest one, so she's gonna get.
So she's the standard of beauty coming from
South
Korea.
Yes. So she's gonna get most of the push, most of the promotions.
Do you think she would still be the visual if this group was a group based out of Japan?
I don't know. But the point is, she's gonna get the most, and you can make a mistreatment case for every one of the girls except for Karina.
The thing is,
that simple. I don't think they mistreated. I think that's just the dynamic of the group.
If I was in their shoes, I know I'm in South Korea. The odds of me being the standard of beauty to be the visual and have the majority of shots and scenes, I know it's not gonna be high. But it's more like if I feel like treatment on the business side, if I'm not being paid well,
that's the only thing.
if it's the work life environment is hostile, people don't bow down to me
Because you're international,
because
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
international.
that can be
That's
mistreatment.
different.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
different.
That's like a big deal. The whole bowing
Honey,
down.
South Korean?
No, she's Vietnamese.
Why they not on the list? Because I feel like that they case argued for that.
Because they bow down.
Not according to Honey.
We watched the video.
I know, but according to Honey.
Yeah, but we watched the video. So
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You blind?
I can't.
You have 4 eyes. You better see.
The Versace event. She headed straight to London for a spa concert.
Oh, this
Although
is what
scheduling
I
conflicts
said.
are common, fans noticed that Ningning was not busy that day
I
and even
wish we
shared
did
on
other
Bubble that she
labels
was making a
too.
smoothie in her bedroom.
I
This
wonder
raised
who else we could pull into this
I can make this case for
conversation.
everybody. For give me an
I
idol,
do
I'll make
feel
this
like
case.
that you
I'll
can
make this
argue
case.
this
Yeah.
for everybody.
Just if I wanted to,
Like you
I'll
could
make a
always
case
feel
for
like,
any of them.
You could always feel like in a workplace environment, you feel like even like in this workplace environment, sometimes I feel like
You mistreated?
I'm mistreated.
Sometimes I felt mistreated yesterday. I was
I
talking
can
about
make- and I
cat
can-
size mono. You kept interrupting me. I was mistreated.
Oh, because all the time.
Honestly, I'm a filed complaint with HR.
All the times you interrupt me, I don't say anything because you like to talk. Well, I can argue a case that you mistreat me.
And I can argue the case that you mistreated me. I have an
think
example
we need
yesterday.
To do a poll.
Mm.
That would be cool.
Suspicions
As
that Zen may have
voting
interfered with her
box.
participation. Despite Ningning's close relationship with Versace and Donatella Versace herself, Asen even faced similar allegations in February of last year when Ningning attended the opening of Versace's new store in Benjin. According to the
So,
staff who
her
attended,
name is
Asen
Ningning
allegedly
or
limited
Ningning?
Ningning's activities during the
Ning
event.
ning.
Although Versace allowed all VIP
It's
guests
AI
to take photos
voice.
with all the celebrities, she was allegedly prohibited from doing so. Witnesses also claimed that she was reprimanded by the staff and sent back to Korea earlier than planned. One netizen commented, "I don't understand why a Korean idol would sign with them, especially someone like Nin, who
To me, it's very simple. If an idol comes out and says, "Oh, I'm being mistreated," it makes a case like KG from Vicha. She made
Oh,
a
yeah,
case.
yeah.
New Jeans are making their case, although their case is flawed, but they're making the case.
Yeah.
Those people, you can say, okay, you can actually talk about mistreatment. Now here we're just reaching because some ag gays I don't like that their idol
New
is.
Jeans was low key mistreated. They were manipulated low key.
Okay, fine, but this is just ag gays having a hard time dealing with the fact that the person they're in love is not the star of the group. It's just what it
You
is.
would kind of feel a certain way, like NBA. They always picking on the internationals. They say why there's a thing where it's the Americans versus the internationals. Why is that always a thing?
What do you mean?
It's a small
It's
group.
not a thing. It's not a small group. Internationals are the stars of the league right now. They're better than Americans.
No, but percentage of players that are on
Oh.
the NBA is small. So
Not that small anymore.
So what is the
so
percentage?
I
What's the
can't.
percentage?
I don't have
Then
that
don't tell me
number.
about no always.
But
being
I'm
small.
saying it's not that small.
But do you think the majority is international? Yes or
Well,
no?
51% is Americans. Yes, that's the majority. They are
Okay,
Americans.
so right now the majority is still
It's
very
Americans.
American.
Yeah, but the internet, like, to me, if you're talking.
Okay, pull the stats because you're doing too much.
No, but if we're talking in NBA terms, this is like we have bench warmers whose roles is to, come out, play 10 minutes. So like somebody who's a stan of that person who plays 10 minutes, they're saying, "Oh, give them more minutes. He
yeah,
needs more
because
minutes."
they feel like
That's
that's
not
the
their-
star athlete.
Okay,
like,
and
let them
they can
play.
feel that way.
That's
They can-
that's the point I'm trying to cut me off to stop. You
They
mistreatment.
can-
This is mistreatment. No, I'm talking.
They can feel that
I was
way.
making this point first before you try to hijack
just-
my point. No,
I made the
because
point for you.
no,
What are you talking
no,
about? You
no,
talking
no.
about the nationals.
I'm saying that it's the same way how a lot of people feel like their star player doesn't get enough shine on the field because they're highlighting other players who they feel is a non-factor and they're not doing enough. They're only there because they're the majority at that industry right now. So that's an easy call to make.
Yes, that's fair, but for that reason, there is those sports pundits, the journalists who talk and they say, "What this person be better or not?" And they sit here, no, this person, that's their role. So whatever they do that role great, and then we
Yeah,
see
that's
that
why- that's
when
why
they get
people-
traded
Same
to
here.
right. So that's our job. We have to check these people, and that's what we're doing. I'm checking them, saying stop being an ag gay,
No, act gay gonna act gay.
because it just is
Oh,
what
I
it
said
is.
Act gay is gonna act gay. That's cute. I like that.
Yeah, anyway, so if somebody's role is to be a bench warmer or whatever, in these groups, everybody has a role. Karina is the star of the group, so all the other girls gonna get less shine. That's their role. Same like with Ive. Wonyoung getting all the shine, the other girls are not. Whatever, that's their roles. Now they don't like that. They're welcome to split from the group, go solo, do whatever they gotta do. That's fine too. Like I wouldn't hold anybody against them.
You know how this is similar to Kobe and Shaq. Because Kobe, everyone's like, oh, Kobe can't do it without Shaq. So Kobe got up and found up another team
this is
to go perform so he can show
fair
he
enough.
can do it. Did he do it?
Kobe and Shaq, this is like, to me, Kobe versus Shaq is literally like the every group, because like One Direction, NSYNC, Backstreet. Although I don't know who the fuck is the star of Backstreet Boys, so I don't know why the fuck they broke up.
Let's like for example, like Stray Kids, I would say Kobe and Shaq. It would be Hyunjin and Felix.
Yeah, like, and but that my
so
point is
who's Kobe, who's Shaq?
well, Hyunjin and Felix.
Yeah, but who's the? Because Shaq is bigger than Kobe.
Kobe's a better player.
I'm not gonna have this debate with you. Next.
Who is gorgeous and has a beautiful voice.
Kobe, this is not a debate, it's a fact.
Why did she do
Next.
this? She
There's no
deserves better.
debate.
Some netizens have wondered if this type of treatment has affected the group's dynamic.
Kobe
and caused any
arguably
problems
for-
between them.
Kobe was in the
It's
LeBron Jordan
mistreatment.
debate for a good amount of
Unfortunately,
years.
examples of a problem that
Mistreatment.
fans
What are
have
we
endured
talking
for
about
years
here?
Without seeing any real improvements. EXO Asen tried to expand into the Chinese market with EXO, a group divided into two subunits. EXOOK for Korea and EXO-N for China. But unfortunately, the Chinese
Why
members, except for
EXO-M,
Lee,
not
ended up suing
EXO-C?
the company alleging mistreatment, discrimination, and that they were also underpaid. By the way, I won't talk about Chris. He deserves everything bad that happens to him for being a violin. You know what I mean by violin, right? Let's start with Lon, who left EXO and sued the company to get
I
her
don't know
contract back
what
in
you mean, but
2014.
whatever.
At the
No,
time,
remember
Luhan stated that she
what
treated
happened with Chris? I think
I don't remember.
They had it in the article. It says that he was
Predator?
I don't know. She bleeped it, so I have to bleep
EXO,
it too.
a group full of Korean members, very differently than the members of EXO-N, who had Chinese members. She added that since the beginning of their debut, EXO-K received a lot of support from Sen and actively promoted, but EXO-N had promotions, did not receive financial support, and went through difficult times. Furthermore, she also added that the agency neglected her health and did not treat her injuries properly. She later sued Asen to terminate the contract and stop her activities with EXO and Asen and signed with another company. However, Sen also filed a lawsuit in 2015 against the company that employed Luhan, alleging that they were engaging in illegal activities, as Lon's contract was still in effect and the lawsuit had not yet reached court.
Yeah, okay. This you can, if the person actually sues the label, you can make a case for mistreatment. So this one, I'll take it.
At the time, he alleged that Luhan had left the group without sufficient reason and had ignored the
But then
contract to
again,
pursue-
that's not always the case either, because we see Nugent suing Hybe, and well,
You
guess
have
what?
the
They didn't
results.
get. Yeah, they didn't get mistreated. So
solo activities for her own benefit. In July 2016, Luhan was forced to settle his lawsuits. Although he would not return as a member of EXO, his contract with EXO
But
remained in effect until
I think
2022.
you can argue that even though they didn't win in the court of law, the fact that they felt mistreated can be a case to say, okay, they were mistreated, but not on legal terms.
no, Rochelle, this is
Yes, Lucas, because you can experience emotional, like you could feel a certain way.
yeah, you can doesn't mean
But
it's
the
right.
law-
You can be
but the
delusional.
law-
So
Okay, but like I don't know for their case, but
for who?
the-
We're talking about New
okay.
Jeans.
no, I'm not talking about New Jeans. It's talking about the.
Oh, I'm
case
talking about
that
New
was before.
Jeans. Oh, I don't know
Okay,
about them.
That's
I'm
what I'm
talking about
saying
New
for
Jeans.
them. I don't know
Oh.
what the law looked like then, because you know the law in South Korea is way different. It seems it's pretty
Right.
lax.
I'm not. I don't
So
know
at
nothing
the
about the
time,
EXO.
Back in the day, I don't know.
I don't know nothing about them. I'm talking about New Jeans. I thought you were talking about New Jeans.
No.
However, under the agreement, he would be allowed to continue his career outside of Korea and Japan through other labels and agencies. Dao's case was a bit more complicated, as he remained with EXO for another year, and Asen suffered numerous injuries, both from participating in physically demanding programs and from the complicated choreography. He was skilled in acrobatics and was always asked to perform on shows. In March 2015, EXO released their second album Exodus, which spawned the hit single Call Me Baby. During the album's promotional rounds, Dao was evidently absent from his performances, as it was reported that he was injured again and was seeking treatment for his ankle injury sustained during his appearance on NBC's Idol Fugsart World Cup in
It
February
looked like the
2015.
shoe was no good.
Dao's father even posted a
No,
letter on the
suspended.
Chinese social media platform on April 22, 2015, stating that he wanted Dao to leave the group. The father stated that Asen's lack of support in terms of recovering from the injuries he sustained had greatly compromised his son's health, which is why he believes leaving the group would be the best thing for Dao. Asen was quick to confirm the veracity of the post and revealed that they will work hard to keep Dao in the group. Long before Dao's father announced that he wanted his son to return to China, Dao was caught on multiple occasions traveling in a wheelchair unable to walk, yet was still forced to perform and train for hours on end. Finally, in August 2015, Dao filed a lawsuit against Sen to terminate
I'm
his
confused.
contract.
How was he forced to perform to perform if he can't walk?
I mean, he can't walk technically, but he has to still work, so he still has to put his body through it.
How if he can't stand? That's impossible.
Push through the pain.
I don't know.
Which was a mess because, let's just say, each country pulled in its own direction.
I don't know. To me, it's just hard because, like, come on, like in sports too. Like, you know how much drugs the athletes take for pain too, just to push through. Because nobody's claiming mistreatment. It's just what you got. You do what you got to. You get paid big bucks.
But do you think? But still, like, is at the end of the day, they look at you as a product and product only, not as you as a person. That's why I'm saying the mistreatment as a person is there. As a product, they don't care.
But
They're
okay, but it's the same like in every job. Like if you go work in Amazon, they look at you as a robot. They don't care. They don't care you as a human. You go work at a Walmart,
But
same
that's
thing. You
why
go
you
work in the
see,
NBA,
but you
same thing. You're a
see,
product
over
of the league.
time with Amazon, they're creating the labor unions to protect themselves, to have
Yeah.
more rights, so they're not violated and mistreated like this.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying the mistreatment is just a thing everywhere. Like I don't. If they didn't do this, they would probably work at a cafe shop. They would get mistreated there too because they would need to up
Sure,
the pace. So it's
sure,
like,
but doesn't mean they don't have a right to complain and be like, oh
but it's
wait,
not
this
even
is.
them complaining.
What do you mean? Like,
It's some people, random people complaining about this.
well, maybe they, as a viewer, you're seeing they should really pull that person off from performing. Like, why are they still? We're only seeing them get worse, and we see like the struggle there. So people, of course, is gonna call it out and blow the whistle. Like the people, it's the public opinion acting as like
We don't even know if the person wants to perform themselves.
Do they have a choice?
They might, but they might want to do it. We don't know that.
Well, I know, for instance, for Park Bom, when she was sick, she got up to the stage perform because of personal reasons. But I don't know if she didn't have these personal reasons, would she still be doing that? It doesn't seem like it because it doesn't seem like there's a good relationship between her and the label. But sometimes you see, these stars, they do what they have to do. And sometimes it's the label making them have to do that because they have obligations they want to fulfill. Doesn't make it right. Both
Dao and
sides.
Asen were entangled in a legal dispute and did not reach an agreement like they had with Luhan, as Dao won a lawsuit in China in 2016 but lost his lawsuit to nullify his contract in Seoul in 2017 before winning his second case in Chinese courts in 2018. In the end, like Luhan, Dao's contract with Asen remained valid until 2022, but he was no longer a member of EXO and was able to return to China and start his own company. In the end, after almost 2 years of scandals, Luhan and Dao definitively cut ties with Asen and the group EXO, which to this day remains a successful group. With the arrival of Nitty and the subunit Wavy, Asen began to include foreign members in his groups again. This time, many fans thought that the company had learned their lesson. However, discussions on fan forums made it clear that while physical abuse and more severe forms of harassment had decreased, there was still a difference in how foreign artists were treated compared to Korean artists. During NCT's early years, members like Renzum, Kum, and Win Win, who are Chinese, were visibly sidelined, given limited screen time, few lines in songs, and in some cases explicit instructions about where to sit or how to behave during live broadcasts. For example, when Renan, Chenel, and Jisoon were at a biff making ice cream, Renan wanted to try his hand at making one, so he switched seats with his partner and stood in the middle. Not even 2 minutes had passed before the staff could be heard telling him to switch seats because a Korean has to be in the center. He was also reprimanded during the broadcast for mentioning Win Win. He was reprimanded loudly enough for fans watching the live broadcast to hear. In another video, Bilhan gushed about his personal vacation. He excitedly showed photos to fans and the other members who were with him. And allegedly a staff member barged in on Renshin and rudely told him, "Shut up." Another of the most well-known unfair treatment is when Renshin
Remember
was
that
left out in the
time
rain
when we
without an
were
umbrella
watching,
while
I
they were
forgot which
inside
group
the
it
car.
was,
On the
but
other hand,
she was on live, and in the other room we hear like the screaming,
Yeah.
and she's looking like,
Yeah, no,
Just
that's
another day.
mistreatment. Yeah.
is it mistreatment?
Abuse. Yeah.
How you know? Did you see the abuse?
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I
You
heard
just
it.
heard it.
Yeah, I heard
So
enough.
I don't know if that's enough to say to court.
It's
Oh,
enough.
you said
Oh,
enough.
is it enough in court?
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
that's what's gonna happen. Like, oh, the only evidence if you could produce of abuse if you just saw an audio and you just heard something, you have no idea what was going on in that background. So in the court, the company's gonna win. So mistreatment can be happening. It's just
That's definitely not enough evidence
Yeah.
for court. But if you have bruises, I feel like you can come up with enough evidence.
This
Win-Win
company
debuted with
is not
NCT
playing.
127 in 2016. He then joined NCTU
Which
and
group
later
was that?
became a
I
member of
forgot.
Wavy. Despite his
know.
dancing skills and decent voice, Win-Win hasn't had the chance to shine to the height of his abilities.
This holiday season, expert bakers, sugar artists,
I can't.
The number of times he has participated in group activities can be counted on one hand. And in each comeback, the idol has only had a few singing lines and extremely limited screen time. It seems that Sen thought he would have more of a role in WBY only for the group's schedules to not include Win-Win, leaving many wondering whether he is still active with the group or not. The contrast with Sen's treatment of Win-Win before and after the breakup left fans extremely puzzled. Some even hope that Win-Win should leave the group and seek better opportunities in his home country rather than endure such indifferent treatment. Many have wondered if Win-Win is still a part of NCT, something Sen recently clarified regarding NCT's fixed member lineup, which did include him as part of the group, but the lack of inclusion in many of the official content continues to upset longtime fans. Another NCT member is Shenli, who is originally from China. Fans have repeatedly expressed their concerns about his treatment and have demanded better treatment from Sen. According to fans, the agency has treated Chenla poorly in every aspect, from song distribution to promotion. To prove this, a fan uploaded the member's dialogue distribution for the title track Ride from the album Density Drink. Upon observing it, Chinese
Maybe he's the worst singer. Why we not talk about Renshin? They're almost at the same sentence. Why we talk about Shanley? Come on.
members Renan and Shenel have the least dialogue. Furthermore, during variety show appearances, fans claim that Chenli always has the least amount of screen time, despite being a cheerful idol. This is also replicated with Chenli, Japanese member Utah. Despite his huge popularity in Japan and having significant achievements such as starring in a movie, hosting a radio show promoted by Disney Plus, and collaborating with brands like Louis Vuitton, Asen rarely promotes his activities on NCT's official accounts. Last year, fans also pointed out issues with his solo album promotion, as they had requested that he promote Yuta's release and tour more frequently on NCT's accounts during the planned release time. But let's just say that didn't happen. Normally when a member of NCT releases music, the group's accounts change to reflect it. However, even after the release of Death, the account maintained a design that promoted John and later changed to reflect the idol's upcoming single Unconditional. Fans also noticed differences in the promotion on the group's Instagram accounts. Many pointed out that Utah's solo tour announcement had a single post, while Junyun's concerts had 12 posts. Another
Now, was his release for Japanese market or not? Because for Japan, usually they don't do promotions across the board like they do definitely separate pages for Japanese releases.
incident that fans pointed out was during Milan Fashion Week, when members Utah Jong and NCT's Dwang attended the event. But when uploading the Big Lot, Jae Hong and Dwang recorded their content with a professional film crew, while Yuta used a cell phone. And the list is actually longer, but to summarize, this type of discrimination and mistreatment continues to extend to other idols who, coincidentally, note my sarcasm, please, are foreigners. Although it would be unfair to say that everything has remained the same, labor laws in Korea have evolved, partly thanks to historical demands from some groups that have made their voices heard. Nowadays, agencies can no longer impose such abusive contracts and foreign idols receive better legal advice. However, that does not mean that the problem has disappeared. Favoritism towards Korean idols, lack of individual promotion, and inconsistent management continue to be a constant in that company. And although there is no longer talk of physical exploitation as before, neglect and inequality are still a form of mistreatment. Now, do you know of another company that has had similar treatments with its idols? Do you think they have learned from it? The lesson? Thank you very much for watching the video.
The thing is,
Do
there
you think
is
they learned their lesson?
who
She asked a question. Do you think they learned their
Who
lesson?
learned the lesson?
Wait, go back. Exactly what she said.
No longer talk of physical exploitation as before, neglect and inequality are still a form of mistreatment. Now, do you know of another company that has had similar treatments with its idols? Do you think they have learned from it? The lesson? Thank you very much.
what was I saying? Yeah, I think there is mistreatments of like you can find it. Is the mistreatment based on the country you're from? Sometimes, maybe sometimes not. But it's really hard to take it seriously when you cry mistreatment about every little. It's not like the fans do that. It's just
I
if
think
if the mistreatment was like, a rare thing with actual mistreatment, then you can take it serious. Because some of the cases they showed where I could say, okay, you can say mistreatment, like when the guy was sitting in the middle and they kind of show him switch. Okay, that for that idol, I could see you could make a case, for that. But like others, it's like with Aespa especially, it's like you. How are two of the group's members are mistreated and only Karina is not mistreated? No, it's just that's their role. So it's like it's a tough subject because the ag gays they be ag gaying, so ag gaying.
it's funny.
Go ahead, what you wanted to say.
What I'm gonna say is like it seemed like the mistreatment back then seemed harsher than what it is today, but today they're reporting it more than what they did back then. Back then, it didn't seem like there was a space for you to come out to say that until it got really, really bad. And then that's when you see they take it to court or when their contract is up for renewal. As opposed to nowadays, 1 year, 2 year in, just a little feeling of mistreatment, we hear about it. And then it becomes a situation. Now we have like for example, a group right now and can't really perform or do anything because they're in the courts. So I kind of appreciate that now that if an idol feels that they're mistreated, they're comfortable enough to come out to say something.
No, I absolutely agree that the idol should come out and say it. For me,
Yeah.
it's like when the fans they just ag gays. They're like, oh, this person's that mistreated. It's just like look what happened with Manon. Like, oh, Manon is mistreated. Manon came out and she said, no, I'm not mistreated. I just got like injured or whatever. Like, so it's like.
But still, I think it's good that the ad gays call it and
It's
then
not.
kind of
It's
say
annoying. It's not
kind
good. It's annoying.
of play the hand of the idol. Say, okay,
No.
are you being mistreated? Because this is your opportunity. Like if someone is blowing the whistle, this is your whistle.
It's annoying. It's not good.
It's your whistle. Sometimes you need someone to say something before you can like say, okay, someone else
Blow a
needs this.
whistle, baby.
Because
Whistle,
sometimes
baby.
like how
Let
people
me
have
know.
imposter syndrome where they don't really view themselves like as the professional in their space. So maybe they feel like second class, or they feel like not worthy enough to make such complaints like, oh, I should be grateful for this opportunity, I'm able to perform, what's a little pain. But then there's people who are watching in the sidelines say, no, that's not normal, that's not okay. Speak up or say something about it. So I do respect like for people, the spectators, to watch and kind of be like the watch guard.
I would say like this mistreatment conversation is the same as plagiarism conversation. It's like when the actual artist comes out and says, okay, I feel like you plagiarized me, then we can talk about it. So same to me
Okay.
is about this mistreatment.
Yeah, but I don't think
when the idol.
I don't think the worst case should like make everything nullified. Like, okay,
What do you mean everything nullified?
like for example, like how you're saying, it's only when the idol should come out to speak something for it to be taken seriously. I think the people who are watching,
Yes,
they're
because we don't know like the circumstances, and I understand that sometimes idols might be in fear. I get that,
Yeah.
but we don't know the circumstances too. Like, why was Giselle in the back of that photo? Well, because somebody had to. Maybe they literally drew a stick, and whoever got the short stick got in the fucking back. Like, we don't know that. So how can we make any claim about it?
it's interesting to watch because like for example, there's an award there, maybe should be a protocol. Okay, who picks up the award? But when we see the girls looking like they're fighting over the award, we're wondering, okay, what's going on? It's suspicious,
Right.
and inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, but
Because
It's-
we
it's just
looking with our
gossip, huh?
eyes and we want answers. So the people cannot be denied the answers. So guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And always, always, always share as much kindness as possible.